Alrighty guys, we're back for Izzet Control, and this is an Edge of Eternities standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. So it's technically a Chandra Spark Hunter build. 4 mana, 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker, we got 3 of them in here. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target vehicle you control. Until end of turn, it becomes an artifact creature and gains haste. Cool. As a +2, you may sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. If you do, draw a card. A 0 where you can create a 3/2 colorless vehicle artifact token with crew for 1, and a -7 where you get an emblem with. Whenever an artifact you control enters, this emblem deals 3 damage to any target. Cool stuff. We got some vehicles packed in to work well with Spark Hunter. Got a couple Kylox's Voltstrider. This is a 3 mana 4/4 crew for 2 vehicle rockin' Izzet colors up there. Collect Evidence 6. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. When it attacks, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among cards exiled with it. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, put it on the bottom of its owner's library instead. So of course you still got to pay mana for the spell that you cast off the Voltstrider, but that could still be really powerful. We have a couple Cultivator's Caravan. It's a 3 mana 5/5 crew for 3. You can tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Cool. Magmatic Galleon here on the top end, 5 mana 5/5 crew for 2. 5 damage to target creature an opponent controls when it ETBs, and then also whenever 1 or more creatures your opponent's controller dealt excess non-combat damage, create a treasure token. Yeah, not the only way to generate treasures. We have Season of the Bold, make the cut as a 2 of, so we're not really ramping into a huge top end, but those extra treasures can still come in handy when it comes time to play something on your turn and maybe keep open a counter spell for the opponent's turn as well. This also helps us see more off the top. It also helps us potentially deal some excess damage to the opponent's creatures as well. So how about that top end? We actually have a couple Marang River Regents here. It's going to do the thing and do it well. The Omen side is excellent card draw. The creature side is one of our win conditions outside of our vehicles. So how about some more card draw packed in? We actually have Consult the Star Charts. All 4 of them making the cut. It should be excellent card draw in here. How about those counter spells I brought up? We have 4 3 steps ahead. Got to do some rearranging, of course, because it's usually going to be a 3 mana spell. But the middle ability is not going to be unheard of at all to maybe copy one of our vehicles, copy a Magmatic Galleon, get that ETB again, or copy like a Marang River Regent too. So yeah, 3 steps ahead is going to be excellent in here. We have all 4 Divert Disaster, 2 mana, instant speed, counter spell of course, so you can counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If they do, you create a lander token. Honestly, I'm not going to be terribly mad if we get a lander token when the opponent pays the 2. And generally speaking, it's pretty early on in the game when they start having enough mana to actually pay the 2. Lander tokens can help us deck thin. It's also a token artifact that we can sacrifice to the +2 on the Chandra. Similar concept with Desculpting Blast here. It's a 2 mana instant speed, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If it was attacking, you create a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying, and this token can block only creatures with flying. Since it's an artifact creature drone, it's not going to be unheard of to use that +2, pop the 1/1 drone, and get some good card draw. Now we do have more counter spells packed in with a 1 of Syncopate, should be fine in here. We have a couple fire magics for the start of our board wipes, and then all 4 ill-timed explosions to close off those board wipes, huh? But the most damage the ill-timed explosion is going to be doing to all creatures is going to be 6 if you end up discarding the Marang River Regent, which honestly, if you end up discarding the River Regent, you're probably going to be pretty sad, so hopefully ill-timed explosion doesn't have to do that much damage. Over in the mana base, guys, a whole bunch of utility lands. Mistrise Village making the cut, Cori Mountain Monastery making the cut, Reef Roads and Rocky Roads also making the cut for this one, guys. We got a couple Crawling Barrens because I wanted as many win conditions as possible. And honestly, it still might not feel like enough win conditions, but we'll see, huh? A nice little array of dual lands and a Fabled Passage making the cut as the 25th mana. And 25 should be fine and dandy for what we're doing. No honorable mentions today, guys. At the very least, what should have made the cut as an honorable mention? Let me know down in the comments. Either way, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked, see how we do. Right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? I'm actually expecting a little bit, guys, but in my test games, it was a very difficult deck list to play, so hopefully I play it well for you. Oh, only 2 mana in the opener is a little sketchy, but we got 25 mana packed into the deck list. I say we give it a shot. Opponent goes first. That is unfortunate to say the least, but yeah, we'll be fine. We'll find that 3rd mana easy peasy. Okay, that's not the 3rd mana, but at least we have Fire Magic open. Maybe it can be a 1-for-1. We still have a couple turns before we have to worry about actually seeing the 3rd too, so. Alright, draw a card, lose 1 life. Look at that, guys. We're already winning. We're on a roll. Mana, yes! Alright. Let's do... We're going to need another blue source eventually for the 3 steps ahead. Yeah, we don't have to worry about getting Crawling Barrens down yet. We'll get that mountain down. I'm very pleased. Second blue source can be the Caravan too, because that's 1 mana of any color. I'm going to sacrifice the Drought. It's going to be Journal. Whoa. Very nice. This is a great little draw 2 combo on the board. We go down to 18 here. Yeah, very nice opponent. Okay, more mana. I'm not mad about it. Yep, that's good. They could have their 4th mana next turn. We could hit a pretty good counter spell. No, we can't. I just got done saying we don't have double blue for the 3 steps ahead. Okay, come on down, Caravan. A little bit of ramp with the Caravan should be good too. Still have the Fire Magic open, I guess. If they go wide with some tokens. Oh, there's red in their deck list, guys. United Battlefront. Speaking of good counter spells, yeah, I think if we would have had the 2nd blue, would have been very tempting to keep this counter spell open over the ramp, right? Let's see what they hit on this Battlefront. Hopefully it's not game over, right? I've been seeing a lot of people missing on the Battlefront, though. Dusk Rose. Okay, nice. That picks up artifacts. There goes our ramp. And then the Drought. So that could have been much worse. But now we still don't have double blue, unfortunately. So hopefully we find an island. Because we definitely want to be able to counter the next Battlefront. Syncopate, that works. But I'd love to get the Chandra down, too. Yeah, we should probably keep Syncopate open, because their 5th mana could come down next turn. Syncopate open with the Marang River Regent's Omen. Tough decision. Because, yeah, I'd love to establish the Spark Hunter, but since they went first, yep, 5th mana open, we could have a really good counter here. Or they could just pass it back. Okay, well, Coil and Catch was available just in case this happened. Hey, there's the other blue source, and we could probably get rid of the Rocky Roads. Divert Disaster. I do like the extra mana, but Rocky Roads is unnecessary right now. Consult the star charts. Very nice. Our hand is just glorious, isn't it? Wow. That's just something else. So they have 5 mana here. We could play the Voltstrider, still keep the Divert Disaster open with the Consult the Stars. If they have their 6th mana for a Battlefront, we're going to be very sad that we didn't keep 3 steps ahead open. But it kind of feels okay to start establishing things here. Yeah, like Mardu artifacts or something so far from the opponent. That's pretty neat. I haven't seen that yet from the current meta. Yeah, hopefully, I mean, they could miss the 6th and then Divert Disaster can hit a good Battlefront with their 5 mana. Gonna go Fishy. Nice. See if they find that open 6th mana. They do. Crap. Maybe they missed the Battlefront. Yeah, we'll take the 1 from the Fishy. Caretaker's talent. Oh. Yeah, I think I'll make them pay the 2, because getting the lander token on the board isn't bad. Although waiting until there's actually, like, if we let them have the talent, maybe we could have countered the next thing. They copy Fishy, so Fire Magic's going to be decent against this deck list, probably. Another Divert Disaster is really good news. Can grab another island off the lander. Comes in tapped. We'll have 3 mana open for the 3 steps ahead. Yeah, I like having all these counter spells. Now I just have to learn how to play with counter spells. Then we'll be good to go. I definitely like seeing all these, though, for sure. Yeah, lander is also at instant speed, too, so that'll be fine. Maybe I shouldn't have sent that mana. I would have loved to get this Chandra down and still kept some things open here. On the stack of the level 3 on the talent, we can Fire Magic. They have 3 mana open here still. Yeah, we're hitting 2 fishies. They spent a couple turns generating those fishies. I love that animation so much, guys. Holy cow. Now this talent's a problem, but we do have ways to bounce it back to hand, so are they gonna play anything? No. I can't tell if they just don't have anything or if they are playing around our counterspells really nicely. We're gonna go ahead and thin the deck list here with the island, and then we are gonna consult the star charts, look at the top 6, and grab the best thing. Totally okay with that. We don't have to kick the consult the star charts. Desculpting Blast, yeah, that's how we bounce that Caretaker's talent. Season of the Bold could be really good here too. But I think it's Desculpting Blast because the talent they spent 5 mana powering up. Season of the Bold, nice. Put the rest on the bottom of your line. Yeah, that's our second Season of the Bold. Okay, well, we can keep Blast open with Disaster and actually establish the Chandra. That seems fantastic, right? And eventually pick up the Blast with the Voltstrider. I'm actually afraid to power up that Voltstrider, though. For sure.
When this race is over, you're all gonna be toast.
I might just go Vehicle Swing with the 3-2 instead. And then we can sacrifice the 3-2 Vehicle for some card draw on the +2. Yeah, +2 could have been pretty good this turn, too. Technically, if we wanted a bigger swing, we could have Desculpting Blast this turn. And then collected evidence for the Voltstrider. Tried to swing for 7, but with 3 mana open and the opponent just not doing anything. Like, we gotta anticipate something. Ah, Spring-Loaded Saw Blades. Nice. Yeah, we definitely let that hit the 3-2. And keep everything else ready and available for their turn. Yeah, if they have an incredibly chunky top end here, then Divert Disaster might actually hit something. Outside of that, it's going to be Desculpting Blast for the Caretaker's talent. Activate Journal on the Drought, draw 2. Their hand is nice and stocked up. We can imagine they want to play multiple things this turn, including untapped mana. So that's 8 total mana for the opponent. Kind of a good game, right? I'm enjoying this. Duskrow's Reliquary. Oh, nice. Okay. Yep. That's pretty good. Picking up the Voltstrider is really good for the opponent. We don't really want to bounce the Duskrow's Reliquary with Desculpting Blast. Yeah, Reliquary being able to pick up our artifacts has been a little bit rough, but... Alright, I'm going to stick to the plan. I'll still Desculpting Blast here at the end of their turn. It's a great tempo play. Because they wasted 5 mana on this talent throughout the game, and now they're going to have to wait to play it next turn, and we could potentially 3 steps ahead. Forced to discard there too. Really, really good, I guess. Second Chandra could be excellent. Try to get more removal out of their hand with the 0 ability on Chandra instead. I'd love to get this to the point where we have the emblem. But I really like the hand, and I like the second Chandra. I don't want to discard anything. I'd rather pop one of these vehicles that we generate, but also having the opponent pop the vehicles that we generate is fine too. This time around, if we don't use any of our instants, maybe we'll start powering up the Crawling Barrens as well.
Push it to the limit.
Okay. Also, we don't want to forget 3 steps ahead could copy the vehicle. They go. Wait, they're gonna go fishy. Are they gonna block? Yeah, they're gonna chump with the fishy. Oh, okay. Yeah, the double fountain port play. Okay, that does make sense. Their hand is nice and stocked. They've officially drawn 5 more cards than we have. Yeah, but now we have this vehicle that we could sacrifice to the +2. We can start drawing that way. We could see more off the top with the Season of the Bold when it comes time too. Alright, we'll still have 3 mana open. We could copy that vehicle, but I think we just want to keep the 3 mana open. Caretaker's Talent's a very, very good counterspell. And since we still have Divert Disaster or the Syncopate, then there's still a good chance, like, they can't get a top end down like an Elspeth Stormslayer, for example. They're just going to pass it right back, guys. Wow. So before the card draw, we want to try the swing with the vehicle, but I guess they're still just going to do the Fountain Port business, right? It's still worthwhile, then sacrifice vehicle. We could actually start with the Surveil too. Let's just start with the swing in general, see what they end up doing. Yeah, I think they're going to do the same thing they did last turn with the card draw in the fishy. Yeah, the opponent realized that we're at control. Oh, they tapped the other Fountain Port, though. I guess they don't have enough mana this time, so it is actually just going to be a chump. Oh, maybe something from hand. Oh, Spring-Loaded Saw Blades, actually. Well, now we won't... I guess we can discard the Thundering Falls. I wouldn't mind Thundering Falls on the board, though. Crap. Okay, more removal out of the opponent's deck list before we actually get more important things on the board is fine. And we don't really want to drop that counterspell right now. We don't have to discard. We could just go +2 on the Spark Hunter, but honestly, with how much value these little 3/2s have generated too, we might as well just keep doing that instead. And I like the mana, so let's get the Surveil on the falls. Consult should stay on top for sure, because that can grab us whatever we're looking for in a particular moment. With the opponent at 8 mana, guys, Divert Disaster is not terrific here, but Syncopate for 5 is pretty good. They swing fishy. We could power up Crawling Barrens. Probably not the best play. We can let Chandra take a hit here.
Focus up, Chandra.
Like they're gonna pop the blades with the journal, get some card draw. This little journal's been pretty good for them so far. They got 33 cards. Now they've officially drawn 7 more cards than us, guys. And they're passing it back. All right. We can start putting counters on the Baron then. Decline, because we don't want it to be the target of something. Yeah, keeping the Fountain Ports open, just keeping everything open is probably really good play from the opponent. We're going to, I guess, attempt the swing again on the 3/2 first. And then we'll try the +2 on the Chandra. They go fishy. They go for the chump. They sacrifice, go for more card draw. Yeah, double Fountain Ports once they have all that mana. Terrifying business. We're going to definitely need more. Some of our river regents will be pretty good here, I would say. Yeah, we're going to go for the card draw. We got to find more off the top for sure. Reef Roads coming in tapped now. let's do... Yeah, we pass it back. Reef Roads comes down tapped. We don't worry about it. I wonder how many more good counters we actually can pull off this game as the opponent has just not been playing anything. Oh, now it makes sense as to why it's Mardu. It's weapons manufacturing, guys. Oh, this whole time. All right, that could be a pretty decent counterspell. If we go ahead and kick this, we could find... We still got double blue open. Won't have Syncopate. Yeah, let's kick this. We could find a 3 steps ahead, but then they could get their top end on the board. Oh, that might not be the best idea, huh? Oh, there's a River Regent. But this is the first weapons manufacturing that they've been willing to play. Ill-Timed Explosion could be pretty good here, too. I think this is the first weapons manufacturing that they've drawn. So I'm going to go for it. I think that that's a key piece to what the opponent's been doing this whole time. I think that card could be devastating on this board. United Battlefront. All right. Yes. So they were playing around counterspells pretty much this whole time then. Legion Extruder hit that Chandra. It's just been generating a lot of value for us. It makes sense that they target that instead. And the other Caretaker's talent off the United Battlefront. Oh yeah, now the cards are coming down, guys. Now that we're tapped out, they're going all in. On us down to 11. With Marang River Regent. If that's the play next turn, yeah, Divert Disaster, we could trade that out to the Chandra's +2. River Regent could just die to like a Get Lost right as soon as we play it. I guess that's what the Divert Disaster could do, right? Since they got the 2 mana open for the removal. A lot of tough decisions here, man. Hopefully I'm playing it out well enough for you guys. And then the opponent's deck list, really cool, kind of fantastic so far, right? Losing these vehicles early on is actually pretty devastating. Honestly, maybe we could have won by now even if we just had one of those vehicles, especially the Voltstrider. See the ward on the Dusk Rose Reliquary and everything. Kind of rough. Could bounce the Caretaker's talent and Officiate. Still got 3 mana open. Could bounce 2 fishies. Yeah, we're just acting as a tempo play. Get the talent back to hand. Divert Disaster like the removal, which could be a whole bunch of different things, huh? Gonna go Legion Extruder onto the Drought, get a 3/3. They get card draw on the talent before we bounce it. It's really good, man. It's really good. Because now, if we go 0 on Chandra, they have a great blocker there. Which is probably still what we end up doing, right? Probably?
Now that's a winning ride.
Because we don't mind that trade. Looks like the opponent does mind that trade as they go down to 7 here. With Marang River Regent. Reef Roads is activate only as a sorcery, unfortunately, and that's not really something we want to do until the final push. We don't want to forget about our Crawling Barrens either. What a match, guys. We're 23 minutes into the video already. Wow. Tithing Blade. Okay, that sacrifices the Marang River Regent, unfortunately, and no great way to actually counterspell. The Chandra is finally biting the dust. I think we're in danger. Oh, weapons manufacturing number 2. Yep. Yeah, so this, I mean, it could have come down to me countering the first weapons manufacturing, but also, I don't know. It's tough to tell. Based on, like, weapons manufacturing in the journal and everything, yeah, I guess the opponent could just win next turn, right? It's very possible. Okay, they still have 2 mana open for the Caretaker's talent, unfortunately, guys. So, I suppose, since we're in danger either way, we might as well get a lander token that we can sacrifice to the Chandra, and then at least the opponent will be tapped out, and maybe we could... No, they're going to keep the 2 open. We get the counterspell. They keep the 2 open for removal for sure. They were concerned that we were going to be able to find what we needed, I suppose. But the thing is... Okay. Yeah, we got 4 on the Crawling Barrens. Mana's good. Yeah, with 2 mana... We got the Reef. We just know that this is removal, but we have Syncopate in hand. So if we power up the Barrens... Yeah, using the Journal, it's activate only as a sorcery. So they had to do that on their turn. Now if we do Reef, right, instead of Chandra, we still have 2 mana open for Syncopate X's 1. So we'll do that. We crew up the 3/2. And we hope that their removal costs 2 mana instead of 1 mana. Wait, do they have something? Wait, what? Wait, where did they have the mana for that? Oh no! Wait, guys. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Oh, the 2 mana. They didn't have removal. They spent the 2 mana over here for the extruder. Oh, okay, we're in danger. We tried. Yeah, my brain was not computing the fact that they wouldn't use removal with the 2 mana. They used the extruder instead. So yeah, we didn't end up having the Syncopate. Oh yeah, dude. The opponent's deck list is terrifying, but we put up one heck of a fight, right? I hope so. Now they still have Extruder for days, so the Crawling Barren's not really going to get through. Ill-Timed Explosion's pretty good, but they'd just be able to generate more 3/3s after the fact anyways. And this time around, they can generate multiple 3/3s this turn, so they just have blockers for days. Yeah, so we'll go for card draw on the Ill-Timed Explosion. I mean, as far as control deck lists go, we did the control thing. We probably annoyed the crap out of the opponent this entire game. Season of the Bold could help us find more off the top. Chandra Spark Hunter, getting around these little blockers on the ground. Really, the Marang River Regent's the best way to do that, but Tithing Blade is very easy for the opponent to find more of. With 6 mana, I'm going to get rid of the Chandra this time round. We still have one more Chandra in the deck list. Alright, come on down. River Regent? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. Alright, come on down. Season of the Bold. Just as I planned. Actually, with this much mana, I suppose we'll go 1 treasure token and see 4 off the top, right? Yeah, since we're at 10, the opponent has 9 coming through off the extruders. Oh, actually, we're just dead, huh? Okay. Right. Okay. See, this is a confusing deck list, man, but I had fun this game. I hope that's all that matters. Also, this is a pretty tough deck list to go against as well. Kind of really hard to play around. Yeah, and then they go 1 more Legion Extruder. It could pop literally any of them, or they actually just go for exactly lethal damage there. Good game, opponent. I'd say that was a really good one. If I had 1 more mana, I guess the Marang River Regent could have done something potentially, but I'm pretty sure they were just going to find more removal off the top too, so... Huh. Right. Well, we're playing control, so we can't ask for faster games. But I don't think they're all going to be that long. Let's try to get at least 1 more match in here. Yeah, every time we had something of a form of a win condition, the opponent had spot removal, and then they could get around all of our counter spells, because I kind of wasted a couple 3 steps ahead, right? I could have had much better targets, especially when they got that the first United Battlefront. Alright, I'm keeping this for sure. Start with the Surveil. See what we see. Fabled Passage can stay on top, especially since we'd love to see our 4th right on time. Alright, 2 mana open for the Disaster. 2nd mana for the opponent. We can successfully get the Rocky Roads down and not worry too much here. 2nd 3 steps ahead is good news. 3rd mana, they pass it back. Okay. Grab a blue source for sure. With this hand, right? Alright, pass it back. I love the double Marang in hand. Oh, Fabled Passage of their own. What are we up against, guys? Orzhov? Well, obviously Orzhov, right? But, well, let's see. Let's see. It'd be funny if it was more Mardu. They're going to pass it right back, aren't they? Well, thank goodness for Coil and Catch, then. Okay. We'll discard one of the Riverpyre Verges. Even though in that last game, more mana early on would have been really good. We still got 25 mana in here. We should be able to find things easy peasy. Now, with 4 mana open, we could get the Voltstrider down and still hold the Disaster open, and I hope that's okay. With them just continuously passing it back, we can't just always hold the 3 steps ahead, and then hopefully 3 steps ahead can still hit some goodies. Either way, Divert Disaster can still hit their top end if this is going to be a Stormslayer style deck list, which is what I was expecting from the last deck list. Nope, pass it right back. Okay, I'm glad we established something then. Marang River Regent, welcome back, buddy. Welcome back. Okay. It's okay. It's okay to play something, opponent. It's alright, buddy. 6th mana. Wow. Passing it back. Divert Disaster is probably the discard here because we don't need 2 of them. And the 3 steps ahead now that we're this late too is a little bit better. Caravan lets us keep the 3 open too. Good. And Syncopate is a little bit better than the Divert this late too. So, all right, come on down. Caravan, that's our 6th total mana. Oh, you know what, guys? This starting time, I mean, it could be Esper. Esper Control, right? But you'd think they would have grabbed a blue source off the Fable, so probably not. All right, 3 steps ahead is open. We're going to have to discard a card here, and it's going to be the other Divert Disaster, right? Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. 7th mana from the opponent. Are they going to play a card is the question. Or is their hand nothing but removal? Alright. Let's draw 2. Discard. 6th mana. Open or Surveil? I want it open. That'll be 7 total. That way we can establish Chandra. Nice, we find more mana anyways. Chandra and still keep the 3 steps ahead open here. I want to make sure I have as many blue sources open too as possible for just for good practice, honestly. Right, they have their Soulstone Sanctuaries and everything to potentially power up when it comes time. We don't really have great ways to deal with that except for a full-blown fire magic, which would be pretty good to hit double Sanctuaries off of. Alright, we can discard, try to power up Voltstrider from the grave, and then give haste to the Caravan, swing for 9. I think we lose both. Yeah. I think we end up losing both vehicles if we do that. We got to try to get some removal out of the opponent's hand. You know, I kind of miss the days of go for the throat. Honestly, you know? Because there were moments where we would play against certain deck lists with, like, these artifact builds, and we just wouldn't have to worry. Yeah, they're going to take the 3 here. Yeah, I think especially swinging with Caravan would have been way too risky, because then 3 steps ahead wouldn't have been open. Chandra's going to get hit by a Stroke of Midnight. That's a pretty good hit for the opponent. And we're going to let them take the Chandra, unfortunately. We don't know what we're up against at all. We have to make sure we can hit any top end possible. The Voltstrider can be powered up now with the Chandra in the grave. The Divert Disaster isn't great to put underneath the Voltstrider, but the 3 steps ahead is. Ultima! Oh, bro, good thing we kept this open. Holy cow. Right. Oh my goodness, and we like 110% need to keep the next one open too. Scary business. Hey, another Voltstrider is really good. I like seeing that. Yeah, Rocky Roads could help us power up the Caravan. They got 3 mana open. Swinging with Voltstriders, easy peasy. We can power up this vehicle with this 1/1. No matter what, we just need 3 mana open for the 3 steps ahead. That's the most important thing here. I'm getting a little bit of lag. So 3 steps ahead and Chandra. And 3 steps ahead, I guess, right? Yeah, that's fine. Actually, I'll save one of the 3 steps ahead for the other Voltstrider. We don't really want to, That's 7 on the board. Yeah, still 3 mana open here. Yeah, we could cast the other. I think we maximize damage for the turn. We still have 4 mana then. Yeah, we maximize damage. Swing for 12. Yeah, we don't want to hit this removal. We want to hit the second Ultima. So we let this counter happen, unfortunately. And we do not want to cast this. We can decline. Holy cow. Opponent's down to 5. It was not removal for some reason. Yeah, if we land a second counter on Ultima, the opponent might be in significant danger. Maybe they weren't playing anything because they didn't have anything. GG opponent. Holy cow, that was a weird one, right? I've been having really weird games. This whole week, it's just been very weird things happening. We're 37 minutes in already. Guys, I'm actually concerned that if we go into another one, it's going to take 20 minutes, and I still have more to record today, too. Let's just talk about the deck list, especially since we showcased, like, everything. Did we see, like, every card today in just 2 games? We did, didn't we? No, we didn't see Magmatic Galleon, but it's only a one of in here. This was weird, man. Very weird stuff. I think I'm going to revisit vehicle control in the future for sure. I just called it Izzet Control because it's like vehicles is one of the win conditions. And I guess Chandra's like the main build around too, kind of, sort of. But I don't know. I don't know if we can call this vehicle control. It's very much control, but then we have vehicles to win with. And there's going to be moments where you have vehicles on the board and you can successfully wipe a good board state with an ill-timed explosion, but then you can still power up your vehicles. And ill-timed explosion doesn't hit planeswalkers, so, you know, you can still keep your Chandra around and everything too. That's actually all really, really neat. Guys, recently with how explosive Standard has been, I keep making the joke like I'm going to become a counterspell player, and I'm just going to keep adding more and more counterspells to my deck lists, and boy, do they just... They really hit sometimes, don't they? And I think the more I play with counterspells, the better I'll get at knowing what's a worthwhile counter too. I don't think I did terrible today. I think I could have done much better in that first game though, as far as when to hold it open and where. But that first deck list that we went up against too was a really tough one to go against, so, or to actually play around in general. Desculpting Blast is interesting, but this could also just be like, you know, bounce off or something. something similar, I guess the Flood Maw as well. But I like that this could give you the drone, and the drone fits the small artifact theme with the Chandra, and then you can go +2 on the Chandra, pop the little drone, and get some good card draw, and maybe draw into some of your top end too. This Season of the Bold could probably be a 1 of, and that Magmatic Galleon should probably be a 2 of. Now, I'm personally not going to make that change. I still like Season of the Bold in general, and a lot of the top end ends up getting discarded to the Ill-Timed Explosion in most games, right? So, yeah, today's matches were weird, but Crawling Barrens is criminally underplayed, guys. Where did this get reprinted? Was it Foundations? It was Foundations, yeah. Crawling Baron, keep your eye out on that one, especially for your control deck lists, okay? Because when you keep open mana for a counterspell or something, and you don't use it, like most players just play a card draw spell or something. What if you don't have that? Well, Crawling Barrens, hey, that's chilling on the board. Start powering that up with some counters. Yeah, I like Crawling Barrens a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense being a 2 of in here. And honestly, Rocky Roads and Reef Roads, I like them both as a 1 of. Totally fine. A lot of utility lands, and I think all of them are totally fine in here overall. And Fabled Passage being the 25th mana makes a lot of sense to me too. Yeah. The curve is kind of small. Look, average 2.8. As far as control deck lists go, that's not that high overall, especially when you consider like Marang River Regent, it could be rearranged as a 4-drop instead. Especially when, you know, we have Ramp with Caravan, 25 mana. It's a pretty small curve as far as control deck lists go, but it felt decent overall. I don't know. Yeah, I think if we played like if we actually got like 5 games in by some miracle today, those were very slow games. If we actually got more games in, I think we could pull off over a 50% win rate. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not 100% certain, guys. What about the do not craft list? Is it expensive? Fire Magic's uncommon, common, uncommon. Okay, rare. Oh, Voltstrider's mythic. Interesting. Chandra's mythic, rare. Mythic, rare. Then the mana base, a whole bunch of rares too. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It is. Yeah, put it on the do not craft list. I would say base it on your collection. You could have some fun here. There could be. Yeah. Yeah, don't craft it though. Don't craft it. More testing required for sure. Yeah, base everything on your collection with this one. And you could probably do some rearranging with the counter spells too, but I do really like Divert Disaster, especially if you end up getting that lander token. Same concept, right? Kind of fits that small artifact theme in here. And I don't think you'd want to trade out 3 steps ahead as definitely the best counter spell to have in here. Potentially the best counter spell in Standard. Am I wrong to say that, guys? Blue players, let me know in the comments. 3 steps ahead. Is it the best counter spell in Standard? It's definitely my most played counterspell. Which I guess says something, but Syncopate as a 1 of was great in here too. There's going to be a lot of late game moments where you can keep open like your 6 mana and go X is 5 on Syncopate and still just act as a really good late game counterspell, but also a good early game counterspell too, where your opponent spends all four of their mana and you just go X is 1 on the Syncopate, right, and still get a decent counterspell. So yeah, early game counterspell, late game counterspell, Syncopate is a decent one. Also exiles the card instead of putting it into the graveyard, which, you know, matters more than you would think. Don't overlook Fire Magic for certain deck lists too. The instant speed on this, being able to keep open Fire Magic with your counterspells too, is kind of no joke. Yeah, the one big change I could see is dropping that Season of the Bold, going up that other Magmatic Galleon, but I also really like Season of the Bold too. And I like that, you know, there's going to be moments, so that bottom ability until end of your next turn, whenever you cast a spell, Season of the Bold deals 2 damage to up to 1 target creature. There are going to be moments where you can't discard a chunky enough thing to the ill-timed explosion, and the opponent is still going to have some leftover creatures, but when you cast it, if you had that Season of the Bold ability already, because it does read until the end of your next turn, right? So if you already had that available, do a bunch of damage to all their creatures, maybe that last 2 damage can clean up their last creature, or maybe you still have more to play out of your hand too. So I do like Season of the Bold. It kind of feels a little bit underplayed in certain deck lists, very specific deck lists, but yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely be visiting it again, so. Consult the star charts has been good. I was actually really happy to get the 4th one of those. Yep, yep. I think that's it. I think that's everything, guys. This was neat. It was really neat. I wish we could have played more games overall, but yeah, let me know in the comments. What would you add or take out? What did you think of the deck list? Did I play it well enough for you guys? Hopefully, hopefully. All right, if you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.